I heard Joe Rogan once say this on a podcast, and then I looked up who actually said it because I think he misquoted it, but I can't remember now. But he was saying that, and I don't even know why I'm quoting Joe Rogan. Okay, this this was Theodore Roosevelt. Like, it's so of our time, isn't it? Just being like, well, who was it, the wisest man that's ever existed? Yeah, the MMA announcer. This guy bought in the New Deal. Oh, yeah. Well, more people than one could have said it. Theodore Roosevelt said, comparison is the thief of joy. We're going to do a little experiment. And that experiment is, will you come to my live show, 28th of September and the 1st of October, Brisbane, Canberra, Perth. Tickets on sale now. Get them at friendlyjordies.com. Sign up to Jordan Shanks as well. But now that that's out of the way, we're going to do this little experiment right now. You are going to pause this video. Well, I'm going to give you a preview, actually, of what a lot of Jordan Shanks is like, because we are going to be doing little mental exercises together so that we can get these reference experiences in our minds so that we know how important and powerful these profound quotes are in our own lives. Yeah? So I want you to write this down with a pen and paper. I want you to write down a time that you were pissed off at someone else. What was going on there? Now, a lot of people are going to sit there and be like, those guys that mugged me. But you know what I'm trying to get to here, right? I'm trying to get to a time when you have compared yourself. So just write down an example of a time. That was so lazy. I really should redo this, but here's a little tip about Jordan Shanks, which is why I should really subscribe. It is, in itself, the laziest content on the internet by a mile. You cannot find anything. I make the audience like this video and celebrate when there is a jump cut, all right? So if you want to see such fantastic content as that, there's only one place on the internet to get that. That's right, there's no such thing as another shit channel on YouTube. They're all amazing. But write down a time that you compared yourself to somebody else. Because I can think about it all the time. You know, a lot of my life as a YouTuber, obviously, and I'm sure that this is exactly what happens in everybody's profession, but I look at other people that are comparable to me in my own field and I think, fuck them, they got a good video. Oh, that's a good thumb. Oh my God, they've got more views than me this week. They've got more views this day. Oh, they've got more views this hour. Am I losing relevance? That spiral happens every time you start comparing yourself to other people. And it is natural to start comparing yourself to other people. In fact, this is something else that I think is terrible about this. This is a long-term trajectory thing about comparison, because there's the short-term one of just that it creates envy and jealousy, which is just a terrible place to live and also makes you worse. And this is the other thing as well. You know what else is bad about comparison in that you become jealous? You start copying them. And if you copy them, what do you become? The Coles brand version of them. You become a cheap, generic imitation. Jesus Christ. Instead of being Kellogg's cornflakes, you become Coles Corn Time Whole Bonanza. That sucks. Corn Time Whole Bonanza. It sounds like a really disgusting German porn. That's what you become. You become a German porn when you start comparing yourself to other people, because that's all that happens, is that your mind gets that little imprint in it and it thinks, all right, well, they're successful at the moment, so maybe I should start doing this. And you know what that becomes? It becomes a hobgoblin of the mind, and that is the problem with humanity. The problem with humanity is people looking at other people and wanting what they have, and then too damned with the consequences of getting what that person wants, and then when they get it, even if they do get it, they don't like it. It's boring. And also on top of that, you become an inauthentic version of yourself in chasing that. It's a lose-lose game. Comparing yourself to anything starts to erode at you as an individual. That's the really bad part. But then the long-term trajectory thing about this is, even if you use like a positive comparison, so my heroes that now that I'm a lot older, I found out that a lot of them hate me for political reasons. But I looked up to a lot of those people when I was young, and this is a deep wound that I'm not going to go into even on this channel. I might on Jordan Shanks, you never know, you might have to sign up. But I was going along that path, and then I realized at some point in my life, not only have I surpassed them where they were at their point in their life, and I think that a lot of that was just to do with technology. I don't think I'm more brilliant than these people. But on top of that, my life is not anything like theirs, but I was trying to fit my life to be like theirs. And there will be a point in your life, and I think that a lot of this does, if you go watch my 20s video, a lot of the 20s video is about the fact that while you are in your 20s, you are just looking for all these little role models, and then in your 30s, you realize, oh, okay, no, like the time has passed, and my life is different regardless. But those role models that you created in your mind, they did put you down a specific path. It's just that you are never going to be treading the same path as that person anyway. So that's why comparison is terrible to begin with. You want to be eliminating it as much as possible. And also, just the bare bones of that. Good on you, Theodore. I honestly think that that is better than you bringing America out of depression. This is more of your accomplishment. The comparison is the thief of joy, because everybody, even presidents, would be doing it. Everybody compares everyone all the time. You always have these images in your head that the person that you're looking up to has this infallible, perfect life, but they are comparing themselves to somebody else as well. And it is a true rob of experience in life, because there is another thing that starts happening into your head, which is just like, what would they be doing right now in this situation? That is, hear me right now. I want you to write this one down. This one's really, really important. When you start having that thought of, would this person that I look up to react like this? Maybe I should react like that as well. You know what you're doing in that moment? You are robbing yourself of turning yourself into, and as they say in self-help, an actualized individual. You are robbing yourself of the thing that made them the person that you actually look up to in that moment. Right then, when you are being like, would they do it like this? A lot of every stand-up comedian goes through it. I do, and I think that this is just what happens when you get into your 30s, but I think that it's good to be at least aware of it so that you can develop out of it. But because I see that a lot of them don't. But a lot of other comedians, right, like they're always just looking at, joke topics or something like that, but you can see that they're copying off it. I mean, everyone does it. I do it all the time. But like, when you notice it, you want to eliminate it immediately. So that's what I'm just saying. It's just like, yes, this is unconsciously happening constantly, but every time that you see one of those moments, you are supposed to rip that out. That is a weed in your mind. A comparison is a weed. You want to get rid of that. The only person that you should be comparing yourself to is yourself last year. That's it. You want to be writing that down as well. Compete only with yourself. We are talking about productivity. Remember the concept of Kaizen, just getting a little bit better at everything every day? You just want to be looking at yourself and how much did I produce this week? How much of it was of quality? How much time did I spend off the internet, which is my current new crusade? You can sign up to Jordan Shanks now and you can see all about it. But anything, whatever you are comparing yourself to, you have to compare yourself to yourself. Because finally, at some point, you will be rewarded for that. The more authentic you are to yourself, the more authentic you are to the person that you are, you will be rewarded for that at some point. Maybe not immediately, but just know that those people were probably more actualized when they were younger because they just had better parents or whatever. But there is a reason that people are looking up to them. There is a reason that they are crushing it in life, and it's because they are not afraid to be themselves. So the first thing that you want to be doing to get rid of that, you want to notice every time that you are comparing yourself to other people. And you want to rip that out immediately, and then you want to replace it with this. How can I improve in the path that I am going down in my life? And if you want to know how to do that, you know where to go. You need to sign up to Jordan Shanks. I will tell you how to improve and actualize yourself and become authentic and get everything that you wanted in life, which is true happiness. That's right. I have true happiness and I'm hiding it behind a paywall. And you better get it. You better get it, because if you don't get it, it is only damaging yourself. I truly believe that. That is 300 books of self-help that is not only being read, but synthesized in my own life experience that I can give to you in a much more entertaining way than reading those 300 books. I can assure you of that. Anyway, your loss if you don't.